Hi, it's Valerie Ling here. I'm coming to you from home today, taking a gamble because I do have a dog who is running around at the moment who could bark. Who knows what could happen? But I'm taking the opportunity to come live with you just to encourage you to think about making small adjustments if you are tired and fatigued at the moment. And this live has a bonus. It does come with an actual recipe. If you stay till the very end, I will tell you how I am managing to be solo parent for the next few weeks and figuring out how to keep the cooking and working and life really manageable. But first of all, really, really small adjustments. Hey, Laura, how are you? How are you going? Nice to see you. I just realized I've got to look at the camera this way. For those of you catching the podcast, you don't have to worry about where I'm looking at the camera, but it's always nice if I'm looking straight at you. All right, so what's the big deal about pandemic fatigue and burnout? Well, it is a very big deal because for the last 2.5 years or last 3 years almost, nothing that we knew as being normal is routine or normal. We have to figure out, is it okay to get sick? Are there any vulnerable people around us? How do we navigate taking care of other people and taking leave and all of that? So it's actually quite exhausting. And what tends to happen then is we try to force ourselves to do things the way that we used to doing because, well, we don't know any better. But here's the thing. If you were already tired or exhausted to begin with, no worries, Laura, see you later. Then it's a high likelihood whatever you were doing before wasn't helping you. Burnout's key core component, really, when we look at all the studies, the key component is exhaustion. Exhaustion to the point where you're actually finding it very difficult to concentrate, do the things that you need to do, attend to your own needs, attend to other people's needs. Exhaustion is the core. And what we know about what helps with that is that it really depends. A one size fits all doesn't really cut it. We have to figure out the different things that will work for us. Definitely making space and making time for thinking about it and then experimenting with what really works for you is key and is vital. Let me give you an analogy. I've been putting up with some pain in my thumbs for a long time. I finally took myself off to the physiotherapist, and the physio asked me, how long have you actually been dealing with this? I actually wanted to say, no, maybe about 3 months. But when I started to trace back the conversations I'd had with different people, I realized that it could be more than a year, maybe even 2 years. I just put up with it. For those of us who are prone to burnout, we just put up with it, whether it's pain or exhaustion. Very soon we just numb ourselves to it and we don't attend to it. Now, why did I go to the physio? Because it was really hurting. I wasn't able to actually do things that I need to do. And if I'm going to be really honest with you, I was starting to actually worry that the thing that I love to do, which is to play my piano with the weighted keys, was starting to get a bit painful, not only just on my thumb, but on my wrist as well. And so I take myself to the physio and she, teaches me to do some really what seemed to me like basic things, but would you believe it? I couldn't do it. She asked me to just stretch a particular muscle in my thumb area, if you like, and I just couldn't do it. Do you know why? Because I never knew that I had that small little muscle. And it's only taking me, I'd say maybe about 30 seconds because she didn't want me to overdo it. She said, don't overdo it. 30 seconds a day on each exercise. And lo and behold, I've actually discovered a new muscle in my thumb wrist area that I'm strengthening. Small exercise in a small area that I never knew. It's a little bit like that Beauty and the Beast song. Just a little change makes the difference. And that's what it's like when you felt the weight of exhaustion and burnout for compounding over the months and over the years. There are just some muscles and some resources that you already have at your disposal that you didn't know was going to help or you didn't know was going to work. So I'd invite you to come and spend some time with me in August through September and October. It's the one time in the year my diary is open to work with you to actually work on those small muscles in small amounts of times that could actually make the biggest shift for you. The details will be in the comments. And if you've stayed with me till the end, you get a recipe. So, what to do when you actually have grown-up children that they eat lots. And that's okay, that's normal. I'm really glad that they're eating. Well, you try to use the air fryer because your oven's not working. Your oven might be working, but my oven is not working, and invent some new things. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if I reverse Google search. Somebody else already invented this recipe, so I will not claim to do it, but this is something I threw together for lunches. So we've got chicken breasts, ta-da, which I'm going to slice up into like chicken tenders. Hello, Sue. Lots of muscles I need to exercise. Yes, this one's only really little. I only had to do this one. Made all the difference in the world. Anyways, back to my chicken. So I'm going to slice that up. And then, I love this. I'm going to have to tag these people. These are my most favoritist spices. They're from Green Valley. I love these spices. They come in different mixes. So I've got 2 out. I'm going to use the American barbecue rub. And I've also got a smoked rosemary and garlic. So these mixes, they're like flavors that I miss. You can get like butter chicken in a mix. You can get, the one that I used up on my last batch was a smoky chicken rub. Anyways, as much of this as you like in the chicken, 1 egg, about 2 tablespoons of flour, and mix it all up with rolled oats. How much? Enough to look like it coats your chicken in the one bowl. Everything mixed up with the chicken strips, bung it into your air fryer. Use the preset time for those, whatever your air fryer says. Go by smell, go by look. Once they're starting to brown really nicely, voila, you've got some chicken strips. Now, what are we doing with those chicken strips? Well, they are going to be frozen into little packs and put into the freezer so that the high school child, I've already got one high school child, hello Joshua, basically reheats that in the air fryer and puts them in their wraps. There you go. That's my little recipe that came with my little burnout prevention tip as well. Love to you both who are watching at the moment, Sue and Josh, and love to the rest of you when you catch it on replay. See ya.